class, we're going to be working through a class today that does not put pressure on your wrists. So if you're experiencing any pain, if you have anything where you just want to give your wrists a bit of a break, this is good. We will be doing no planks, no chaturangas, nothing where you're actively pushing down, not even tabletop, which I normally love so much. So let's get started. We're going to begin in a seated position on the mat. You can start at the top of the mat too. You don't have to be kind of in the middle like I am, but do you. And I want you to just take a moment to move side to side. So checking in with your sit bones and feeling this motion just gently back and forth through the spine. So starting at the base of the spine, allowing this kind of snake-like movement really to go back and forth and getting your shoulders involved. The hands can rest on the knees, anywhere on the thighs. See what naturally comes into the body. And then begin to slow down your movement. If you have any fleshy bits and you feel like you can pull them away, do so you can root even deeper into the floor. And then sit nice and tall, like there's a little string on the top of your head. As you do this, the belly gently begins to engage, especially the low belly, to give you this extra lift. Bring the shoulders up towards your ears and drop them down. Bringing the shoulders up, dropping down. And on the next drop down, tuck the chin gently in toward the chest and just gently stretch the back of the neck. Let's start adding our breath. As we inhale, bring the shoulders up toward the ears and exhale, roll the shoulders down the back. Inhaling, bringing the shoulders up the ears, rolling them down. Inhaling in, shoulders up, exhaling down. Inhaling, shoulders up. Exhale down, hold them down here, and begin to release the hands so they come either to the floor if you're on the mat like me, onto the mat. Engage the fingertips just gently into the floor, and if you're trying not to use your hands at all, you can keep them on the knees, but see where you are. As we inhale, turn the palms up, extend the arms up, gaze can rise towards ceiling if it feels good, reach up. Fill up with breath. Hold here for a moment. I want you to imagine, again, that little string pulling you straight up. So if you find yourself leaning back or pulling the chest forward, try to allow the length to be just through the fingertips, reaching up, pulling the low belly in. As we exhale, spread through the fingers and push the space down, tucking the chin in toward the chest, really feeling the stretch through the arms until you reconnect the fingers to the floor. Again, if you're not using the fingers option, you can allow them to hover or hang. Inhaling here, reaching the hands up. Exhale, pushing the space down, tucking the chin if it feels good, gazing up if it feels good, or keeping the head neutral. Inhaling up, exhaling out. So start to really tune in to your own even breath here. So we're trying to create an even inhale, even exhale. So same length, same quality. And connecting our movement to our breath. So it might look like we're not doing a huge amount here, but if you're extending out through the fingers properly, you're actually activating the entire upper arms into the shoulders, through the hands, and you'll start to feel it a bit. So just keep the breath as the guide. You can activate your Ujjayi breath, that victorious breath, if you choose so here. Just creating a gentle contraction on the back of the throat, slightly audible breath. One more inhale. Hold on your inhale here, pull low belly in, send gaze up if it's available, and exhale, reach left hand forward, reach right hand back. I got a wall here, and begin to twist. Now again, you can press the fingertips gently into the floor, or you can kind of curl your fingers to be little fists, or they can rest gently. Just getting that twist. If you don't want to touch the floor, keep the hands up. And as we inhale, returning back to center, extend arms up. Exhale, twist to the other side. Sorry, Yoga Star. Reaching the right hand forward, left hand back. Inhaling back to center. And as we exhale, beginning to bring the hands down. Pressing gently into the mat, into the floor with your fingertips. We're gonna inhale, bring the arms up, this time just to T position, so about in line with the shoulders. Turn the palms down, really extend through the fingers here. Breathe evenly, breathe deeply, and then begin to bend the elbows. So now the palms face forward, you're coming into goalpost arms. As we inhale, open the chest forward, keep the fingers spread. And as we exhale, bring the elbows in toward one another, and you're gonna be gently hunching back. So a bit of a cat-cow here. We inhale, open chest forward, really bring the shoulder blades together. And we exhale, curve back. I'll turn on my mat so you can see how far back you go. You can even come back onto your tailbone slightly. Inhaling forward, opening through the chest. Exhale, coming back. And the key here is to try to keep the elbows up. So you're actually doing a lot of work here and you can feel a bit tired. And because of that, the elbows will want to fall. So suddenly you're going lower. Try to keep them up so the elbows remain in the shoulder length. Keep the fingers active. Again, if you're not wanting to spread through the fingers, you can create fists as well. That's another alternative. So feeling this opening. At first you'll feel it through the chest, through the upper back, just because that's where we're focusing. But you can also start to feel it through the mid-back, through the stomach area as well. And also sending your awareness all the way to the tailbone and to the front of the pelvis. So you have kind of 3 sections you can focus on here. You'll hear my Ujjayi breath. Find your breath. Find that rhythm. Keep the face soft, relaxed. Try not to furrow through the eyebrows, grit through the teeth. Release the tongue from the top of the mouth. And we inhale, open your elbows back, really open through the chest, and extend the arms out, T position, palms facing down, release them down. Go ahead and give your shoulders a bit of a wiggle, your arms a bit of a wiggle, all the way through. Anything you need to do to shake it out. You should be feeling this a bit now. Now go ahead and begin to slow down your wiggle, your shake, and start to lean back. You can bring the hands on your knees if you'd like, and then extend the feet out. Actually, keep the knees bent, but bring the soles of the feet forward, getting ahead of myself, and begin to hug your shins in. So interlace the fingers, or you can interlace around the elbows, and just gently hug yourself in. So begin to pull through the knees, pull through the shins, relax the forehead, the eyes all the way down. And this is a really nice stretch for your back. If you want to take it a bit deeper, you can reach the hands out, bringing the armpits all the way to the knees, and either tucking the palms of the hands underneath the feet, or you can gently grasp the fingers onto the toes and push down. And you'll notice this gives an extra stretch through the low back. So if you're looking for low back release, it's a very nice option. Taking your inhale here. And as we exhale, beginning to release, rising up, start to lean back here. So you can use your hands as kind of little stabilizer points on the front of the shins. Begin to point the left toes forward, point the right toes forward. Zip up through the feet. So the big toe mounds, not the mounds on the base of your feet, obviously, but inside of the feet. They zip up together. So you're zipping up through the toes, through the ankles if you're able, through the knees, through the thighs. There might be a bit of a space, just see what feels good. Begin to extend the arms out, coming into our half boat pose. Inhaling here. Exhale, beginning to straighten, pointing through the toes, coming as low as you can, and exhale, rising up, bending through the knees. Inhaling here, pointing through the toes, keep the palms turning up, or they can come toward the side. Exhale, coming in. Inhaling here. Exhale, bring the knees in. Inhaling here. Exhale, knees in. Inhaling. Point, point, point through the toes. Exhaling in. Few more. You got this. Inhaling here. Exhale in. Inhale, push out, lengthen, open through the chest. Exhale, bring the knees in. One more, we got it. Make this one your longest yet. Point through the fingers, throw it through, can't even talk, point through the toes. Exhale, bring the knees in, hug the knees in. Begin to gently hug in like you were doing before, maybe a little bit tighter on this one. You can rock back and forth, release through the back. And then option here. If you don't want to rock and roll, just make your way up to a standing position. If you do want to rock and roll, cross your right or left ankle over one another, gently grasp the outer feet, and take a moment to rock up and down through the spine. If you don't want to grab your feet, actually, you can also release, bring it to the backs of the thighs. And take one more rock and roll, and then come up to standing. So rising up. And you can take a few to get there. It can feel kind of cool after you do that pose. So shake out, come into your Tadasana. So hip width distance, or maybe you bring the big toes together, heels slightly apart. Whatever position you choose, spread through the toes and really press to the soles of the feet. So this is your pose where you create this base where you're plugging in. As you press from the base of the feet, this rises into the thighs. You tuck your tailbone, bring shoulders up, release down, point fingers down, and you feel this activation rising up all the way from the ground. So you're letting this power in. Face is nice and soft. And you can either turn your palms forward or facing in, again, whatever suits you. Option to bend through the knees if you'd like. As we inhale, beginning to come down. And extending up, reaching up. Exhale, open through the chest, extend the arms, come into your forward fold. Hinge at the hips, allowing the head to lower. Inhale, we rise, find halfway lift. As you do this, bring the shoulder blades toward one another. So you're opening the chest, and hands come to the shins or your thighs. Again, this gives you that lift and this nice strong back. Exhale, releasing down, forward fold. Inhale, begin to trace up the front line of the body. Hands to the hips, we extend, take up space, reach out and up. Holding here, take the right hand, grasp the left wrist, and begin to come over toward the right. So you're gently stretching through the left side, and you can choose to kind of check your left hip over to the left a bit more, but keep your right foot really steady. Inhale, back to center, and we switch sides. So grasping the right wrist with the left hand, we bring the right hip slightly over and start to really extend through the right arm. You can actively pull. If it actually hurts to touch your wrist, then go ahead and grab some more on the forearm. Side stretch through the right side. Inhaling back to center, extend the arms up, and we exhale, coming down. Take a moment to shake off, and then plug right back into your Tadasana. Pressing through the soles of the feet, bend through the knees. Inhaling here, we come down, extending up. Exhale, fold forward, hinge at the hips, open through the chest, relax the head. Inhale, rise, find your halfway lift. Extend the left hand forward here. Extend the right hand forward, lift through the toes. So you're actively pushing the weight back to the heels. You should feel it in the back of the legs. Release the toes down. And then begin to bend through the knees. Start to rise onto the big toe mounds, coming into our drinking bird. So onto the toes if you're able, and see if you can start to sink your sit bones down, and then rise up. Just an option, you can always hold still or exhale, coming down, feeling that shake, keeping the hands extended. Inhale up, exhaling down. Inhale up. Last time if you're doing the drop, exhaling down. And inhale, push through the big toe mounds, rising onto the toes. It's okay if you fall out, extending the hands up. And we exhale, release the feet down. Give yourself a little shake out. Come back into Tadasana. Bend of the knees if you'd like. Inhale, coming down. Rising up. Exhale, folding forward. Find forward fold, relax the head. Inhale, rise, halfway lift. Exhale, release, forward fold. Inhale, trace up the front line of the body, hands to hips, extend, take up space, reach out and up. Option here to cross the right thumb over the left And send the arms back so you're opening through the chest, through the shoulders. And you can bring the front of the pelvis slightly forward. So again, just see if it feels good. Inhaling here. Exhale, back to center. Take a moment, shake out. Come right back in to your Tadasana. Bend through the knees. Inhaling here, we come down. Rising up. Exhale, coming forward. Inhale, rise, find your halfway lift. Exhale, we release. Come down, forward fold. Inhale, bring the hands all the way up the front line of the body. To the hips, extend out, all the way up, gaze can rise. And exhale, release down. Bring the hands to the hips here. Press into the sole of the right foot and start to lift the left foot up. Flex through the left toes, so the right and the left foot are kind of doing the same thing, even though one is in the air and one is not. Try to bring the left knee about in line with the left hip. It is okay if it is lower. See where you are. You can also use a wall or balance. I have a wall here I can kind of cheat with. Not cheating, it's supporting, I should say. Pressing through the sole of the right foot, feel your balance. And then we begin to inhale. Exhale, step the left foot back. Start to come into your high lunge. Now this is a fairly intense pose, so if you need to kind of step it back, if that full step was a bit much, then take a few steps, enter it. Start to look at your right big toe. You want to be able to see it. So you might need to move your right foot slightly out toward the right, but the toes face straight forward toward the front edge of the mat. You bend the right knee deeply so it's roughly over the ankle. And as you do this, you start to stretch through the left leg and try to straighten through the left knee as much as you're able. Hands still on the hips. Again, headlights pointing forward. If your hip points had headlights, they'd be facing forward. Bring the low belly in. We inhale, extend the arms up. Exhale, start to hinge forward, reach forward until you feel this nice long line of energy. So if your left leg wasn't straightened before, it will start going that way now. You're pressing all the way from the left heel out through the fingertips. Taking an inhale here. And as we exhale, bring the arms back, open through the chest, hug shoulder blades together as the palms face down, airplane arms, sending the gaze down. Think lengthen. You're lengthening all the way again from that left heel out through the top of the head. Inhale, rising up, back to our high lunge. Exhale, opening warrior two. Turn the left toes out toward the long edge of the mat. Check your alignment, either right heel to left heel or right heel to left arch of foot. Bend into the right knee. Make sure you can see that right big toe. If you cannot, you might need to guide the right knee out to the right or shorten your stance. Extend the arms out. Energy pressing in through the outer left foot. I get too excited and worried too. I lose my mind what I'm doing sometimes. Extend through the arms. Send the gaze over the right middle finger and sink a little bit deeper. Think opening the chest, the belly is engaged here. You're pulling in and up, pressing through the soles of the feet. Inhale, turn the palm up. Exhale, reverse warrior. Bringing the left hand anywhere on the left leg and either reaching the right hand straight up or maybe you start to reach it over. Wherever you're getting this opening in the right side, that's where you need to be. So think open rib cage. Inhaling here. And as we exhale, warrior two. Extend out even more here. Inhale. Exhale, extended side angle, bringing the right forearm to the right thigh. Extending the left arm up, gaze rises, or you can extend it over. Whatever position you take, remember to really press through the outer edge of the left foot. Again, now you're getting into the left side. Inhaling here. And as we exhale, warrior two. Start to straighten through the right knee. Send the left hips back. We're coming toward triangle. Keep extending out through the arms. Don't lose that activation. And then start to send the right fingers forward until you can't go anymore. That's when you hold. Bring the left hand forward. Keep the legs as they are. Then bring the left hand back out, just keeping you on your toes. and begin to release the right hand down. Anywhere on the right leg is fine. If you can touch the floor, that's fine too. Again, just be gentle on the wrists. Gaze can rise up toward the ceiling, toward the sky if you're lucky enough to be outside. Send the hips back. And as we inhale, rise again, warrior two, bend through the right knee, extend through the hands. Exhale, hands to the hips, turn the right toes, so now they're facing the long edge of the mat with the left toes. Turn the heels in, and you might need to do this a few times, this kind of heel toe. You're taking a wider stance, but not as wide as you can go. So see what feels good, plug in through the soles of the feet, and then begin to bring the hands to the tops of the thighs and send the hips back. We're gonna drop the right shoulder in toward the center line. Inhaling up. Exhale, drop the left shoulder in. And if you find this creates pressure on your wrists, just turn the palms up, okay? Exhale, bringing right shoulder in. Inhaling up. Exhale, left shoulder in. Just a few gentle twists. Inhaling up. Exhale, coming in, right side. Inhaling up. Exhale, dropping the left side. Inhaling back to center. And then pressing firmly through the soles of the feet, we start to rise up, extending the arms up, straight out, star pose. Press through the soles of the feet, through the heels, through the fingers, activate the entire body. You can even smile if you want to activate through the face. And exhaling back down. Turning right toes forward, left toes forward. We begin to bring the hands up, start to straighten through the left leg, start to straighten through the right leg. Keep your feet on two different planes like you're wearing skis. And we're gonna begin to extend the arms back, coming into a pyramid pose variation. So you can hang out here, or maybe you interlace the fingers. With the interlace, you begin to bring the shoulder blades together even more and start to hinge forward. So bringing the forehead down toward the front of the right leg, toward the right shin, the knee, and really lifting the clasped hands up. So you're really opening through your chest, active through the shoulders. Taking your inhale. Exhaling out. And as we inhale, rising, go ahead and open the chest up toward the ceiling. Keep the clasped hands. And then release. Hands come back to your hips. Press in through this right sole of foot. And begin to rise up into your Tadasana. Take a moment and just bounce, shake out. Notice what you've brought in. Smile a little bit, try to have some fun. And then come back into your Tadasana. We inhale, coming down, extending up, exhale, folding forward, stretching through the backs of the legs, relaxing the head. Inhale, we rise, halfway lift. Exhale, we release. Inhale, bringing the fingers up the front line of the body, hands all the way up and out, take up space. And exhale, bringing the hands all the way to the hips. This time we press into the left foot. So really feel your base here and then start to lift this right foot up, flexing through the right toes. And again, try to keep this right knee in line with the right hip. As you do this, try to keep the shoulders down, and you can always use a bit of support if you need it. Really flexing through the right toes, taking your inhale here. And as we exhale, begin to step this right foot back. And try to straighten through the right knee. Now, as you enter this high lunge, which again can be quite intense at first, you can always walk the left foot forward a little bit if you need. You want the left knee to be over the left ankle, left toes facing forward, and you can see your big left toe. Now, if you cannot see it, try to reduce your stance a bit, or you can move the left knee over to the left. Start to extend the hands up, and as you do this, push out through the right heel. So you have this really active stance. You can spread through the fingers. They can remain, just hanging out. See what feels good for your hands through the wrists. Finding your inhale here. Exhaling out. Straighten a little more through the right leg. Really push through that right heel as it lifts off the mat. One more round. We inhale. Exhaling out. And this time we inhale, really activate through the fingers. Exhale, start to bring those fingers forward. So now you're really going to feel the activation as you push out through the right heel. Extend the fingers forward. Finding your inhale. Exhale, sweep the arms back, airplane arms, palms facing down, shoulders coming in toward one another. Bending deeply through the left knee, extend that right knee, right heel even more. Finding your breath. And we inhale, rise back, high lunge. Again, you can find a little bounce. Sometimes I like to do this just to check in with my hips. And then come to stillness. As we inhale, send the left hand forward, the right hand back. Come into your warrior two. Check your alignment. Left heel to right heel or left heel to right arch of foot. Sometimes I forget body parts. Sorry for that. Bend into the left knee. Start to bring the low belly in. Really straighten out through the hands. You're stretching, especially through the middle fingers. Sinking into your warrior two. You're also pressing through the outer edge of the right foot. Finding your breath. Inhaling here, turning the left palm up. Exhale, reverse your warrior. Try to keep the left knee bent as you bring the right hand back. Anywhere on the right leg. You can send the arm straight up or maybe it arcs back, think opening through the left rib cage. Relax the right ear toward the right shoulder if you're able. And we inhale back to warrior two. Open through the chest, hug the shoulder blades toward one another and roll the shoulders down. Begin to bend into that left elbow and we exhale. Come into your extended side angle. Either reaching this right arm straight up or see if you can reach it over, creating a long line of energy from the outside of the right foot through the right fingertips. And you can even bring your left hand all the way down, fingertips touching the inside of the left ankle all the way to the mat if it suits you. So see where you are. Inhaling here. And as we exhale, returning to warrior two, holding here. Inhaling. And as we exhale, begin to turn the right toes so they face the front edge of the mat with the left. Extend up, find your high lunge. And as we exhale, begin to bring the hands back, interlace the fingers. If you're able, start to pull back and actually away from the low back. So they might go up on this one, opening the chest toward the front of the left thigh. And then as we inhale, we reverse this, bringing the clasped hands all the way toward the low back as you open the chest. Inhaling here. And as we exhale, stepping the right foot in, beginning to straighten through this left knee. We're going to come into our pyramid pose variation. So starting to reach the hands back, opening through the chest, and then coming down. So keeping the hands clasped, relaxing the head, pressing through soles of feet. Really reach the clasped hands up. Really engage through the soles of the feet so you feel this base. You'll feel it deeply through the back of the left foot, leg, probably through the foot too, to be fair. And we inhale, bend through the left knee, rising up. And now we release, starting to extend the hands up. Turn the right toes back out. Start to send the right hips all the way over to the right. Extend the arms out once again. Point the left toes forward and reach until you can't reach anymore. Maybe the right hip goes further to the right. And then you release this left hand down. So anywhere on the left leg, I should say too, or even the mat. Extending up into your triangle pose. And you're doing your best here to stack your shoulders over one another. So noticing if this left shoulder is really reaching out, can you stack it? Can it be the base for the right shoulder? Finding that alignment. And as we inhale, bending through the left knee, rising up, turning the left toes toward the long edge of the mat. I'm going to turn so I can see you guys. Extending the hands up. And this time we exhale, releasing, bringing the hands to your hips, turning. your toes out. So now the heels are in, the toes are out, and we start to sink down and begin to bring the arms up into goalpost arms, open through the chest. Taking your inhale here. As we exhale, beginning to bring the elbows toward one another, keeping the legs as they are. Inhale, opening the chest. Press through the soles of the feet. We exhale. Bring forearms, elbows in toward one another. Bring the belly in as well. Inhale, opening up. Exhale. Bringing the elbows, the forearms in. 2 more rounds. Inhaling here, open out, press out through the knees as well. Exhaling in. 1 more round, we got it. Inhale, opening through the chest. Exhale, bringing forearms, elbows together, pressing through the soles of the feet, rising up, extending the arms out, releasing them down all the way to your hips. Take a few moments just to roll out through the shoulders. Start to nestle these feet in until you're back into your Tadasana. You can come toward the top of the mat if you've made it away from there. Pressing through the soles of the feet, we inhale, begin to rise up, extending up, pressing all the way from the heels through the fingertips. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, rising, halfway lift. Exhale, releasing, forward fold. Inhale, trace out the front line of the body, hands to hips, extend out, reach up through the fingertips. And as we exhale, go ahead and bring the palms together. Press evenly through the left and the right sides. Bring Anjali Mudra until the thumbs come down toward your heart center. As you do this, really relax the shoulders down. Allow them to move away from the ear. Look down at your feet. You're going to heel toe your feet out until your toes actually come off the mat and the heels face in. Now you might need to take a variation of this. We're coming toward Malasana. So if you're good with Malasana or your yogi squat, start to sink the hips back. Extend through the elbows. You're actively pressing through the elbows as you come down. And the elbows come to the inside of your thighs. As you do this, you can press in with the thighs, push out with the elbows. Again, if you're really trying not to put anything together with your wrists, you can always clasp through the fingers. So see what works. Otherwise, pressing through the palms, holding here. We inhale. Exhaling out. And a full yogi squat isn't for you, come into a low chair. So just bringing the forearms to the tops of the thighs, sinking the sit bones back. 1 more breath here. We inhale and exhale, lowering the sit bones down. So you can actually kind of plop down onto the mat, see where you are. And then start to extend the legs out. We're back in our boat pose, reaching the hands forward, opening through the chest. Just holding here. So starting to notice your feet, really point through, that's what we've been doing before, and then flex back. We're gonna try to hold the flex here. So now we're pushing out through the heels, activate through the arms. So if you're able, really extend out through the elbows, palms facing up. Finding your breath, inhaling, and exhale. Begin to release all the way down. Give yourself a full body stretch. Really extend through the right toes, through the left. Extend up through the arms. And as we exhale, bend the left knee in toward the belly. Bend the right knee in toward the belly. Point through the toes. Interlace fingers around the shins as you hug in. And notice that you're really pressing the low back into the mat as you do this. You're also pressing the shoulder blades in. So you have this really good connection. If you feel okay through the neck, you can bring your forehead, your eyes up toward your knees. Just make sure you're hugging in even deeper and try to keep that low back connected. It wants to pop up here. Keep it pressing into the mat. Inhaling here. Exhaling out. Inhale, begin to release the head down if you took the option. Bring the knees toward the armpits and reach the hands, fingertips up toward the outer feet. Try to grasp the outer edges of the feet as you push up through the soles of the feet. You pull down with the hands and you come into happy baby. So this is a nice gentle hip opener. Again, you can choose to kind of go back and forth here, maybe rolling through on the low back or holding in stillness. Just find your breath and most importantly, finding that space in your body or in your mind where you need shift, where you need to send energy, you need to send breath. Allow that in. Inhaling here. As we exhale, releasing through the feet, bringing the knees back together, hugging in. And then releasing the soles of the feet down. Go ahead and release the hands down so the palms are pressing into the mat next to the hips. Extend the left foot up, point through the toes. Exhale, bend through the left knee, bring the left ankle on top of the right thigh, just kind of above the knee. And you can either hold here, just allowing the left knee to splay out, or maybe you bring the hands to clasp behind the right thigh and gently pulling in. So we come into our sleeping pigeon. And notice what your toes are doing. You want to activate through all of your toes. So flex them back, left foot and right foot. And notice your left knee. If it's just hanging out, you can try to engage it like it's pushing toward the top edge of the left side of the mat. Just noticing if that changes sensation and finding your breath. Inhaling here. Exhale, releasing the right leg down. Sole of foot returns to mat. Cross the left knee over the right and then extend the arms out. T position or goalpost arms if your space isn't that big. And then begin to drop the left, the right knee over toward the right. Coming into this twist. Try to keep your shoulders pressing into the mat. They might want to lift, so just do your best, especially that left one. Inhaling here. And as we exhale, gently guide the knees back to center. Uncross the left, bring the left foot down, extend the right foot up. Hands can come back so the palms are next to the hips on the mat. Bend through the right knee, bring the right ankle to the top of the left thigh. Again, you can stay here, or you can interlace fingers behind the left thigh. Flex both toes, like you have two big toes. Flex all of your toes back, left and right side. And again, play with that potential kind of movement with the right knee, bringing it forward, out to the side. Just noticing if it gives you any sensation. And it's a very small movement. And breathing into that space. Finding your inhale. Exhaling out. Inhaling here. And as we exhale, beginning to release the sole of the left foot back to the mat, cross the right knee over, either goalpost arms, 90-degree elbows with the hands, or extend out T position, press through the tops of the hands, and begin to bring the knees over to the left. Your gaze can go over toward the right, center, or left, again, whatever feels good for your neck. Just allowing the stretch to come into the body. Taking your inhale. Exhaling out. Inhale back to center. Uncross the right leg. Bring both, palms, soles of the feet all the way to the mat. Bring the heels up toward the sit bones. Bring the hands down. So now you're actively reaching your palms toward the heels. Press through the soles of the feet and activate. From the soles of the feet up into the thighs, we rise up into our bridge pose. So in your bridge pose, you want to make sure that the knees are remaining hip width distance. So they're not splaying out. Sometimes your body does this because it wants to cheat. It makes it feel easier. Don't do that. Allow the activation from the soles of the feet. Rise in, activate through your thighs, and then really start to nestle the shoulder blades toward one another. You can really reach your hands towards your heels and even clasp through the hands if you'd like, further tucking your shoulder blades, opening through the chest. So quite a few variations here. Find your breath. We'll take 2 more full breath cycles. Your inhale and exhale on your own pace. One more. Finding your inhale. As you exhale, beginning to release the hands so they come out to the side and gently lowering the spine down. vertebra by vertebra, releasing back down. And from here, we extend the right leg. We extend the left leg. You can give yourself a full body stretch if you'd like, or any other adjustments you want to make before we head into our Shavasana. Start to release the hands down. Palms facing up, coming away from the hips. The toes splay out, you close your eyes, you relax your face, and you start to release your breath you've created. So giving yourself just a moment. As you start to relax the physical body completely, and start to allow the mind to remain completely present and aware. Begin to wiggle the fingers, wiggle the toes. Start to allow movement back into the body. Maybe allowing a bit of shift in your hips, your shoulders, creating a facial expression. And then giving yourself this full body stretch once again, extending the hands up, pointing through the toes, reactivating through the body. And you can choose to either bend the knees, soles of the feet to the mat, roll to either side, or you can rock and roll up into a cross-legged seated position. So just see what suits you. We'll meet each other in a cross-legged seated position. Hands on your knees or somewhere on the thighs. Think that string on the top of your head gently pulling you up. Once again, you're nice and tall here. Begin to bring the hands to Anjali Prayer Mudra, bringing the thumbs in toward your heart center. Gently pressing through the left and the right sides. Just taking a moment to show gratitude towards yourself, toward one another for practicing together, and for showing your wrists a bit of love, a bit of a break, maybe just a difference in practice that you can still practice without your chaturangas, necessarily your planks, even though we love them too. And begin to bring the thumbs towards your forehead, gently beginning to bow forward. Thank you so much for coming to class. Satnam, Namaste. Thank you. Have a great day, and please make sure if you like this class to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and do reach out if you have any requests. I love to coordinate classes to what works for people and kind of invent what might help. So feel free to reach out and have a great rest of your day wherever you are. Thanks a lot.